Hey YouTube, I'll try to give you guys a quick look at a small assortment of Greenlight Ford Broncos. This video is definitely inspired by Jay Leno's Garage. He just did a video a couple days ago, and these Broncos are just so interesting. The way that they got started, how they were made from parts from all kinds of different cars, like the door handles came from the Mustang, part of the steering column came from the Falcon, the tail lights came from the F100. They were sold as bare bone utility vehicles, basically, used on farms, ranches. I mean, at one point in time, the passenger seat was an option. So they were very basic. Carpet was an option. Pretty much everything was an option. But they were massively popular because of their wheelbase. They are one of the best off-road vehicles. Even to this day, the modified, they're pricey though. I mean, I don't think you can touch one of these. I think just a shell is probably 10 grand. So they're expensive nowadays, but man, they are nice. And I don't think anybody in 1:64 scale has replicated them better than Greenlight. My biggest complaint with the casting is the plastic top. Not a fan of that, but I understand why they did it. And contrary to what people might think, they didn't do it that way to save money. They did it that way to allow for different configurations of the casting. And they do have a couple casting variations too. Like, look at this one here. You've got this is the basic stock model. But if you look at this one, it's missing a tailgate, missing the doors. So there are some pretty cool variations of these. And while I think that these are really well done, I'm not the biggest fan of the tires. I think the tires are too wide, and to the point where it looks like the proportions are off a little bit on the casting, but I don't think that's the case. I think the proportions are off on the tires, which makes the whole casting look like it's a little bit off. That's just my analysis. But they are very, very nice, very accurate. Um, I mean, I think the only other premium brand that ever did these was Johnny Lightning. And those little castings were massively popular when they came out. But I think that those are ugly compared to these. This is a hitch and tow release with the bent hitch. There we go. I don't know. I like these. It's not my favorite Greenlight tooling, but definitely one of them. It's another configuration. Same tooling without the top. something different too. If you look at these two toolings, now they are the same tooling number, so I don't know how they do this, because this one here has a stock rear quarter panel. You can see how it kind of cuts off right above the tire. This one has the cutaway, which is what a lot of people did so that they could get clearance. Now, if you find one like this, these ones are much more rare because so many of them were cut away. But what's weird is that Greenlight, they have so many configurations of this that it's almost hard to believe that they get all of these from one tooling. Like this one here, this is the only stock suspension Ford Bronco that I know of that has the cutaway fender. Every other Bronco that has that is lifted. All of the stock suspension Broncos have that little I don't really know what that's called, but where it straightens out. Some awesome wheel choices too for these releases. Like, I think these are great looking wheels. I like these wheels a lot too. These ones here, these are probably actually my favorite. And these wheels, which are supposed to replicate a wheel that did come on these, but it's not a very good example of it, because these are actually off of like an 87 to 91 GT Mustang. I think the wheel that would be better is the one that they're using now on the Vanduras. I think that one would be a lot closer. Let's see what else. Another configuration that they do is the Baja. These have been really popular. Auto World actually does a Baja Bronco in 1:64 scale for their slot car lineup. There might be 1:55 scale, but they do a Baja Bronco. Here's another configuration here with the soft top. This casting has made multiple appearances in the Hot Pursuit series, including this NYPD. And then probably the most, I don't know, maybe the most sought after Ford Bronco that they've done is this Miho exclusive racing hitch and tow with the Gulf Deco. Now, me personally, I don't even know how I would rank these. In most cases, I prefer the off-road lifted look, but I think with this particular casting, I prefer the stock look. So this one here would be my favorite as far as like the cosmetic. I think this one looks the best. But of all the lifted ones, I think I like the Golf. But I do like civilian deco too. This casting has made appearances in just about every Greenlight release. It's been in Hollywood, all-terrain, county roads, country roads, Hot Pursuit, It's been in the film reel. It's been in the diorama. And what am I missing? It's been in Black Bandit. So it's been in just about all of them. Some of these are fairly hard to find, and some can be fairly expensive, like this Black Bandit Bronco. Uh, it's been in the Black Bandit series twice. This was the first one. The second one had a configuration like this without the doors. That one is really easy to find. You can get that for, I think, under $10 shipped on eBay. This one is hit and miss. It's probably worth between 20 and 30, but but sometimes you'll find this pop up on eBay for 10, 15, which is a great price because to me this is one of the nicer looking Ford Broncos in my opinion. And then this one is Hitch and Tow. That's another series that it's been in a couple times. Well, it's been in the basic Hitch and Tow once, but it was also in the Miho exclusive racing Hitch and Tow here. And then the Hollywood film reel here and the diorama there. So those ones are probably going to be more expensive on the secondary market just because, you know, they're not sold individually. They might be a little bit harder to find because of it. But to me, if you could find this one here for under 15, I would say that's probably a fair price. Probably the same with this one. The rest of these, most of them are pretty inexpensive. The green one commands a little bit of a premium because it's kind of an early county roads. It came out right around the time they switched from county roads to country roads. This one can be pricey because it's a very early hitch and tow. It's either Series 1 or Series 2. No, it's either Series 2 or Series 3. And then this one can be expensive too. This came in a series, I don't know what it is, but the packaging said Dads on it. They did some Ram Chargers, they did some C10s, and they only made 2,000 of these. So this one's pretty rare by diecast standards. It's more rare than most RLC cars. But the Golf, it was a Miho exclusive racing hitch and tow series. There were 4 of them. There was the Hellcat with the Dodge Ram. There was the 2017 Shell Deco Camaro with the Silverado safety truck. And then there was the Goodyear Nissan GTR with the F-150 and the Golf Ford Bronco with an F-150. The F-150 also has the Golf Deco, and it came with a flatbed trailer just like this one with a Golf Deco. So if you're a Golf collector, you almost have to get that one. I think those are selling around $25 now. But those are also pretty limited. They only made, I think, 2,400, but it might only actually be 1,800. I don't remember. It's either 1,800 or 2,400, but either way, that's pretty limited. So, I think most of the time when they do this casting, it looks pretty good. Every now and then they'll do it and they come out looking like crap. Like from the Running on Empty, the Shell one that came out. So that's another series that they've been in, running on empty. I don't think that they've made it in the blue collar yet. But anyways, there you go. Greenlight for Broncos. Really cool casting to collect. And this is probably a little bit less than half my collection of Broncos. I think I have 24. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So yeah, this is just a little bit less than half. Well, that's it for this one. I'm really jonesing to do a layout. I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and just make one, even though it's 110 with 80% humidity. I think I'm just gonna make a new one. But before I do, I have to get a static grass applicator. I want my next layout to be the last layout. All right, thanks everyone. Have a good Friday. And I'm sure I'll be back this weekend at some point. Happy hunting.